Viewers, this was a promise made by the Congress back in 2023, and today the Khatakat model seems to be unraveling. The 2023 poll victory was largely credited to the guarantee schemes and the resonance it had with the people of the state. One such guarantee scheme was the Dhruva Lakshmi scheme, which promised 2,000 rupees for every female head of the family per month. But now the Deputy Chief Minister of the state has added a twist. DK claims that no commitments were made on monthly payments. It was only meant to be on a contractual basis. Is the Congress then going back on the very promise that got them to power in 2023? Now that remains the big focus coming into this important story that we are looking at. Remember, the Congress's guarantee schemes in Karnataka was credited as a major drive force multiplier for the electoral win in the state of Karnataka a couple of years ago. Since then, what we have understand is we have seen climb downs after climb downs, the latest coming in the form of the Karnataka government, which now claims that it is on a contractual basis or not on a monthly scheme. Let's listen into some of the reactions. Now, the Congress may want you to believe that there was never any payment made, but watch what we are playing out on your screens. These are images from the website of the Directorate of Women and Child Development Department of the Government of Karnataka. The web page mentions that the scheme provides 2,000 rupees to the female head of the family per month. And it's the last two words that's important. Per month is what the website says. So today, is the government website wrong, or is it the Deputy Chief Minister who's wrong? The BJP is now calling out the Congress over the same and is accusing the government of not being able to deliver on any of its poll promises. So what exactly is going wrong? Is the Karnataka government realizing that it no longer has the money to back up its stall claims which had taken them to an electoral victory? Is that the reason why the siddaramaiah and the DK government are now trying to come up with loopholes which do not exist to try and explain why these guarantee schemes are not, these payments are not being made? Was this really on a contractual basis? Well, we just put out that paragraph from the official government website which indicated that no, it was on a monthly basis here. Is that the reason why the Karnataka government is now going back on its promises? The BJP definitely says that it's a U-turn and that the Khatakat model has completely come unraveled. Now, obviously, this is the big story that's happening. The row over the Dhruva Lakshmi funds continues to escalate. DK has made a new claim, claiming that these funds were never meant to be as a monthly stipend. They were meant to be on a contractual basis. But then again, if we go over to the government, we see that these are with twists which were added on a monthly, that it specifies that there were monthly payments that were brought in. The BJP therefore slammed the Karnataka government's U-turn and says that this is something which shows that it's that the Khatakat model of Rahul Gandhi, which was touted as an important model of social welfare, which we have seen being replicated in other Congress states as well, being unraveling. Let me go across to my colleague Neha, who's joining us live with more details. Neha, what exactly is happening in the Dhruva Lakshmi scheme? Why is DK claiming that it's on a contractual basis, whereas the government website very clearly states that it's meant to be given per month?
Well, yes, of course, we're seeing that the Congress government in the state is facing the heat, the ire of women, particularly who were promised this amount of the Dhruva Lakshmi scheme. Remember, 2,000 rupees per month is what was promised to these women. Even at the time of the announcement of, the scheme, we've heard from the Chief Minister there who said that, month on month, 2,000 rupees would be deposited to the accounts of these women as a part of the Dhruva Lakshmi scheme. However, considering now that several women have not received this amount now for nearly about 3 or 4 months, it has of course become quite a headache for them. It's something that they were relying on, and now of course with the government over here also possibly suggesting that this isn't going to be coming in every month. Quite contradictory statements there that have been coming in, both from the Chief Minister as well as the Deputy Chief Minister. We'll really have to wait and see. Again, of course, this boils down to whether the exchequer is cash-strapped, and now, has it reached the point where the government is unable to even deliver on these 5 guarantees, and this coming on a day now when the government is celebrating 2 years of being in power.
Absolutely, Neha. Now, this also needs to be tied into the fact that there has been there are two things which are happening in Karnataka. One is we are seeing steadily the cost of living is rising, especially in a city like Bengaluru, where we already see vehicle registration fees are at an all-time high. Plus, there are additional cesses being added on a daily basis. The prices of Nandini milk are increasing as well. And at the same time, as we have seen in Bengaluru for the past 48 hours, the city's infrastructure is completely crumbling as well, and 48 hours of rain is all that is required to bring the city to its needs. So as an average Bengaluru Neha, one must ask, what are the services that I'm being provided? If I'm not being given the guarantees which have been promised by the state government, if I'm not being allowed, if my cost of living is increasing and the standard of living is going down, where is the money going into?
Well, absolutely. And, of course, that's an extremely pertinent question there that several people now are raising because, of course, on one hand, you have the government here saying that they're spending lakhs and crores of rupees on the guarantees that are being given to the people. On the other hand, you have Congress MLAs themselves coming forward and saying that there's no money here in the city or the state for development because it's all being diverted towards the guarantees. So now a question obviously arises, on one hand, there's neither development happening. On the other hand, of course, neither are the guarantee schemes being delivered as promised. So where is the money going, of course, becomes an extremely pertinent question here. Remember, of course, while there has been a lot of criticism that had initially come in for the guarantees as well, the government, of course, did deliver on it for some time. But however, following that now, we're seeing not just the ire of the people here that the government is facing, but the opposition also latching on to this, asking if this is the model of development that the government had, in fact, come to par on, that the government had promised the people in the state of Karnataka in their manifesto, then why is it something that's not being delivered on?
Indeed, Neha. And in fact, the BJP has just put out this tweet, which I'll read for our viewers. And it says, it's given the hashtag 420 Congress. It says the Congress government, which had said before coming to power that it would give rupees 2,000 to women in each family, has today hit back by saying that it never said that. This is the real achievement of the Congress party. You can see the tweet that's come put on the screens. We'll be tracking this story going forward as well. Neha, thanks a lot for joining us with that update.